Uh, Thank you, Lee. All right, this is called A Chat About You with My Guidance Counselor, 1996. And for those of you who have heard this once, twice, or three times before, I apologize. It's not one of my newer works. Years ago, upon coming to school with a headache gifted by your hands, I decided to finally say something. I remember my guidance counselor's eyes, how they widened with each new detail that I shared. Secrets held so long they felt as if they were truly a part of me, hardened deposits on my bones, metastasized, slowly eating their way to the marrow. I never thought they'd escape my mouth and air publicly. And here I was, filling the room with my stink of shame, of embarrassment, peppered with the odd habit of following each sentence with a sort of apology. For me, a 16-year-old, making my counselor visibly uncomfortable, this well-intentioned middle-aged man obviously hadn't lived through anything like this. And I had to get used to that sight of the dropped jaw, the brief moment of disbelief, and then the pity. The worst was the pity as I had to tell the stories again and again to mediators and caseworkers and eventually a judge who thankfully saw the light in me, the ability for color to return to my cheeks one day. And he got angry at all he heard in his courtroom. And so he granted me peace. He granted me space from you. But before all that happened, I was in an office with a guidance counselor, a man who eventually got angry. Of course, I knew the signs well. His downturned mouth, working hard to cover clenched teeth, a few beads of sweat gathering at his temple. I was so grateful of these physical signs betraying his fury, at him hearing what I endured, what you put us all through. His discomfort and indignation validated me, that I wasn't crazy, that this wasn't normal. Even by the standards of a poor old-fashioned home, the beatings were one thing, but the drugs? Waking us up at 3 a.m. to find your pills and then your works? You sliding down the side of the sink while washing dishes? Where did you go? And why couldn't we bring you to that place while sober? The threats, we learn to live with them and through them. I work hard not to use them now with my loved ones, but they come so naturally, it's disturbing. The vile comments, throwing words like dyke and whore to me as if they were grenades. You were so concerned with my virginity, but you fucked all the moms in the neighborhood. You made fun of how I looked, but I was your spitting image. And the shit you did to my mother, the way you slapped her and kicked her and dragged her by her hair, the long hair you prohibited her from cutting, was it for this purpose? I was a child, learning what it meant to be loved by a man, and this was my curriculum. Bruises and stitches and rooms filled with smoke and regret, and yet I loved you. I loved your pride in our heritage and that your strength, height, musical ability would be passed down to me and eventually to my children. And God, I hope that's all. And I was proud of you, that you were the first Latino on our block and that they jumped you and called you spick and you always fought back, that you yourself were abused and illiterate, but still made your way. And now I have confused him, my poor guidance counselor. How can he understand that I can love someone who's left permanent marks on skin and heart? Though he has likely heard plenty of stories worse than mine in all his time in this position, when I mention that I don't want any trouble, I just want to be able to leave and perhaps take my sister too, he gives that stupid look of pity, the one I will see for years to come, and I just want his fury back. Because the hot anger of a man is what I understand. It will be part of my origin story. What will first break me, but then push me to rise from a pile of broken and bruised bones to the sturdy frame of who I will be. And who I will be requires no pity. Thank you. Oh my God, I got so close to the camera there. I didn't realize. Woo. Okay, thank you, everyone. All right, so after that dramatic piece, now we have someone who is going to be reading for the very first time. Verena, she is a very, very good friend of mine. And she's also one of my salsa sisters. We perform on the same team and we've been performing together for at least a year, a little over a year now. Um, and she has so many talents. She does Reiki, she reads tarot, she works with people who have disabilities and special needs. I mean, she's just like the Jane of all trades. And now she's going to add to her resume that she is reading poetry for the very first time in this room. So if you all can just unmute your mics and give her a really warm welcome, I would appreciate that.
You're gonna do great. You're gonna do amazing. I'm so
Torch the
proud that
mic,
I get
honey.
to hear it.
Thank you.
Torch the mic. You're gonna
Verena,
be fine.
enjoy.
Okay, I'm gonna turn off my camera. Wait. Okay, this is called Cloudy Sky. It is a cloudy morning. The sun is dodging. You travel alone and left him home. Million doubts floating by. Look up and catch the cloudy sky. Birds are flying, but no one's singing. You wish you were an angel, to fly away and be in another plane. But reality comes loud and clear. Memories arise, wrenching with pain. All you see is red, but what you feel is dread. A black mantle covers you, a dark part of you arise. But there's a fight this time, and signals keep pouring by. It feels simple to fall down, to pick back up patterns, to give up and just go. But your angels won't allow. The universe is on your side. Keep breathing, keep fighting, as you will shine. Just get a sunny sky. Allow your rain to pour, but expect a rainbow to arrive. Ask for signals and let the love be the guide.
Beautifully read. Oh, I loved it. Verena, congratulations. You did fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, that is so wonderful. Thank you for reading for the first time on this show. I mean, we are honored to have you tonight, and that was just gorgeous. I know that you were nervous. I know my girl,
Yep.
but you just sounded so calm. I mean, your delivery was just perfect, and that was a beautiful poem. Thank you so much, with such hope.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. And for those of you who don't know, Verena, you can look in the chat. And I encourage everyone here that if there's a line that resonates with you, something that you enjoy, write it in the chat, right? Because we know we're usually quiet while someone's reading, but if you have something that moves you, put it in the chat so that the artist can see, what it is that is making people feel. Excellent. Awesome. All right. So next up.
There is something else I also want to add because we did not. When you
Sure.
have finished performing, add in your details into the chat, your books, socials, websites, podcasts, and more so people can find and connect with you. And then maybe even offer you a feature at another place.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Lee. So it's so important in terms of building community because you will find so many people that will support you and who will share with you and, like Lee said, provide you opportunities to share your works even further. Amazing. Okay, so next up we have Ed. Ed, we are recording. We are ready for you for your entire set this time. Let's do it. Oh, wait,
Yeah,
and let
let's
me
do.
tell my kids to get out of the room because I know this is going to be hot. Hold on a second.
It comes with a warning.
Oh, don't worry. Before I do it, I have a disclaimer alert. And it rhymed, so people could understand the time. But I got two. I got just
Share them. We're ready for you. Thank you, Ed.
thank you. Thank you for pushing on through. Remember that we love you. And we can't forget about Nia too. All right. My name is Ed Potastic. I'm feeling fantastic. Please in time you can join my rhyme off with Sublime. All right, I got two pieces, so I won't take too much time. This is called Gaia's Love. You possess an undefined natural and organic beauty. You dance around the bright sun on important duty. Your eyes are a great lake colored in sparkling blue. Your tears are sweeter than strawberries, blueberries, and honeydews. Your body is a wonderland full of sublime and wonderful delights. You give us warmer sunlight to help our darkest sight. Your skin is earthly, smooth, and grounded, unlike the vast deserts. You just give, give, and give till it hurts. Your children are the vivid, rooted, fluorescent trees and flowers instant healthy, grounded, and stirred with unique powers. Your age is vast compared to the far reaches of dark space. I didn't say ancient, Oh, wait, is there a teardrop or river flowing across your face? You're more powerful than you're more powerful than any earthquake, tsunami, or hurricane. You burn us with our toxic fumes, endless cuttings, and rumbling pains. Your is the roaring, unpredictable, and screaming volcano spewing molten lava. Sometimes you create clouds, dropping clear, refreshing, and rejuvenating Java. Your love is surreal, vivid, and deeper than our baby blue skies. You feed, nurture, and grow us the pesky flies. I hope this poem does you justice because it's coming from a microscopic soul. Thank you for the gifts of diamonds, rubies, irons, titaniums, coppers, silvers, and golds. Thank you. Okay. This is a disclaimer alert, so no one gets hurt. This is gonna have mom and dad language in so many different stages. So please mind the word for these pages. I just want to burn some cages. All right. This is called the Garden of Eden. Your physique makes me weak and causes me to sink. I'm sorry, baby, but you drive me crazy. I want to give you deep satisfaction by seeing your sexual reactions. Your curves suggest I digest you slowly, but baby, you can follow me closely. Don't worry, I'll be in and out so we can scream, moan, and shout. I'm just outlining the route so I can prepare for your joyful shouts. Let me slowly trace your curves to outline my plan to scan every inch of your land. I want to satisfy every inch of your natural cave to make you my sexual slave. Don't worry, I know how to sow your roots to make your heart and garden shoot. I know every detail that will send you into radiant pleasure and put an end to your inner displeasure. I'll drill down to your deepest desires in order to put out your pesky fires. Let me take care of your canvas, such as trimming your hedges and drinking your ripe chest. Baby, can I plant my long carrot in your dirt? But don't worry, it won't hurt. My carrot wants to take root. Don't worry, baby, there are no substitutes. I'll explore deep within your natural soul to make you a gratifying whole. I want to reconnect your tunnels. No worry, it's a pleasure, no trouble. No problem tapping on your warm and moist walls, make you want to fall. That's right, release your inner bees to feel at ease. I will dig deeper, deeper, and deeper because I'm your garden's keeper. I will continue to feed and water your section to give you a fluorescent interaction. Oh, baby, I'll dig into your geyser, but your branches are growing higher and higher. That's right, baby. Spread, spread, and spread. Let me see the ultimate climax in your head. Oh, baby, I'll I'll love it when you shake your trunk and spread your seeds while looking so free. Your veins are squeezing me. Oh, you want more of my dirty expertise? We did another round. We kept bouncing while I taste your fruit with slurpy sounds. We're burning while our hearts and minds kept stirring. We're experiencing like a climactic synthesis while I move on closer for a kiss. Your lips taste sweet, which I make your annoying termites obsolete. The sun kisses your canvas while I move over for a moment of bliss. The garden shows off his big green thumb that plows your inner drums. Thank you.
And you're one of the few people that can make me blush every time without fail. Oh, there were some gems in there. Oh, Lordy, I'm so glad I told my kids to leave the room too. Thank you so much, Ed. That's so enjoyable. Loved it as always. Thank you so much. And we got it
Got
recorded.
both the poems
Documented.
recorded.
From the beginning,
Woo!
we did it. We're getting the hang of this thing. Oh my word. Ed, if you haven't already, please make sure that you put your socials, any information, any projects that you're working on into the chat so that others can follow you. Ed is so sweet and so supportive. He's an amazing part of the poetry community. So if you can, please follow him. Please follow Verena as well. Two great people to follow on IG. Okay, I see that. I think Marissa's having some issues with connecting to audio. I've noticed this for the last few minutes. I don't know who's on Galaxy. Oh, Prolific.
Hey.
Okay, so hopefully she is able to get that together. I would love to hear from Marissa tonight. I think that would be the first time that she reads on Pen and Sword, if I'm correct. Or did she read it the first one? I don't remember. We will find out. Either way, I would love to have her read. Okay, next is Sophia, yay, who is new, not to poetry, but to pen and sword. So we are so excited to have you, Sophia. How are you?
Hi. I don't know, new place, a little nervous, but I'm excited to be here. And thanks to Kazi who invited me. Shout out.
Yes.
Let's see here. Someone was talking about tarot cards, I think, but it's a coincidence because I did this drawing, a conglomeration of 6 tarot cards, and I shrunk it. And I got it photographed, but like I did this drawing
That's so
of the
good.
swords and the owls and like the Wheel of Fortune and stuff. So I just wanted to share that with you. And my voice is a little funny today. I'm gonna just briefly put my information in the chat now and just I want to practice 2 poems. I don't know if people are in the California. I'm from California. Sorry. And then yeah, I'll put it afterwards. But I'm doing this big event. Or sorry, I haven't slept well. But anyways, we'll put that there, and I'll read, and then I'll say a little bit about what's happening. So let's get to the poems first. But then, if people are in California, I can talk about the event that's happening Saturday for National Poetry Month at Books Inc. So here we go. The 2 poems I want to share tonight. It's under 5 minutes. Is that okay? And these 2 poems are from my 3rd book, Chronicles of Cosmic Chaos in the 4th Dimension, published by Uncollected Press, and then my 4th book's coming out soon, and I'll talk a little more about that. So here we go. They're a little bit serious, but to shed a light on mental health is important to me as a elected to the DBSA board of directors. So here we go. So many endings in one place. Let's get started after all that kind of rambling. So many endings in one place. The end of the incense trail was what I followed. That dying scent barely wafted out of her living room. Those hints of sweet lavender eventually would falter in her red incense holder she bought from an art museum, used countless times, now filled with stunted sticks. So many ends built up and up. Those ends would eventually disintegrating, turning ash like the dawn of so many endings in one place. And she asked me, while her gaze was past my eyes, instead above my head on her 2 tiny pet birds, one bright blue and one bright yellow, in her rusted bird cage, chirping countless times about the final moment of that tragedy, on how he ended it, while I didn't want to dwell on his end, while declaring there are no fairy tale endings. Instead, too many tragic endings, as she mindlessly continued to buy more. She didn't think twice about when one burns out. She didn't think twice about never emptying the holder. As a birthday gift, she gave me incense sticks, the red matching holder I never lit one myself. This time, eucalyptus scented like those trees near the lake, near the place called home. And when I returned after her dinner party, as the day ended, I became fearful in the dark, not because it's hard to see, but because I was with my fears. And I didn't self-harm, so I didn't need to end that, but was so close, oh so close to the beginning. Thank you. Poem 1. And the companion piece. A savior who couldn't save, in memory of W. Equipped with tarot cards, a priest with bright eyes who tried to intervene to no avail, couldn't light the way out, and now I can barely remember his name, uttered just a few times, almost sacrilegious to do so, seeing him once in a black and white photograph, supposedly smiling, once a minor league baseball team buried secrets taken to the grave. I've made a promise to myself. I will not end up like him, still this life full of strife, to carry forward without my self-proclaimed wishing stone I stole from her, composed and carved of an angel, placed it in my pocket of these jeans. What the whole became holy, even though they were not what they started out to be. Without him, without ever seeing a yellow butterfly, if they were born in my stomach, I shook my head. The answer could have been finite or infinite answers. Why this occurred? She was 4 before I was born. No, I'm not up in arms about it. But that special day, no longer wishing to witness laughter, I walked the other way, out of my own 27th birthday party, to skip that stone in the lake near the place called home, unable to no longer possess a motionless representation of flight, places in heaven, actually empty spaces. Thank you very much.
Sophia, thank you so much for joining us and for blessing us with those 2 beautiful poems. I hope that you will return to this space. We will be very, very happy to have you. Thank you so much. And you said that there's an event that's going on in Cali. You want to just speak briefly about that?
Just real brief. Sorry, I did the order backwards and then kind of not sleeping too good. Yeah. It's just, you can click on the link. It's in the Bay Area. Yeah, at Books Inc. And I put my website and Instagram. And stay tuned for If My Hands Were Birds, a poem. And I put a mental health resource in the chat. DBSA stands for Depression Bipolar Support Alliance, and there's free support groups. So if you poke around on that website, I'm elected to the board, so mental health advocacy is very important to me. So I'm active in that community as well. So thank you for holding space for me. And yeah, this has been great so far.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Okay, so before we go on to our next poet, Christy, which I'm so excited to hear from her, just want to say hi to some people who came into the room a little bit later. Prolific pro poet, hello, so happy to have you here. And Kennedy, I'm so happy to have you for the first time as well. Yay. Kennedy, you missed me reading. I read a really painful piece and I picked it because you were coming, but I have a new one for you to hear later. So I will save that for you. Also, if you want to join the second round, so after our feature, please put your name now in the chat so that we can make sure that you get a chance to be heard. So if you have one more poem, usually the second round is like 1 poem just to make sure that we stay within time. Yeah, please share, okay? Put it in the chat now. Okay, Christy, hey, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
So good. I'm so glad that you have been coming consistently to this open mic. Your presence is, so appreciated here. Love to hear your poetry, and looking forward to what you have for us tonight. So you may take the floor.
Thank you. Yeah, I love this mic. I think it's like the only mic I'm going to right now. So I'm like, oh, I gotta go. Such a safe space, you know? Okay, I'm gonna go off screen, but I just wanted to say hi. Oh, okay, here we go. The nerves are unending. The nerves are unending. My nerves, my nerves, my nerves twitch. They twitch. They twist and tingle and twitch as they switched to on, to on. She's on. The nerve ending her where everything is energy, coursing through my veins, never ending, time bending, nervous system ticking, lights the way to the explosion, to the old cartoon-like line of black powder that awaits the mighty switch of an itch, of the nerve, of the boom, of the imploding, of the exploding, happening all at once, of the twitch, the itch, the nerve, the not regulated, not regulated. The system is not regulated. The whole thing overheating from the open-ended nerve that is her, that is I, sitting, twitching and twisting the ropes that connect my system, as neurotransmits my sensory overload, overloaded with stimuli. Outside stimuli triggers the impulse of the pounding pulses that pulse through my systems of nerve endings, ending the atmosphere, shifting the water levels and slowing things down or speeding things up, things down, up and down the merry-go-round, go round, and I'm back here again at the start, at the beginning, at the middle, at the end. Never any ending, never any ending. Nerve endings, nerve endings, nerve endings. Thank you.
Wow, I felt like I was on a trip with that poem and I was just along for the ride with that. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Christy, do you have another one for this round or is that it for
No,
today?
that's it. Thank
Okay.
you.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Gorgeous, gorgeous poem. Thank you. Okay, next on the mic is, and let's hope that this is sorted out, but I don't think it is. Marissa, are you able to connect? Because on my end, I see that you have been connecting for quite some time. I'm going to reach out to Marissa directly via DM. And so we'll have to come back to her. So now we have Bernadette, who's actually in the other room, which is why you heard the echo previously. So I'm going to turn off my mic so that doesn't happen again. And Bernie's going to share with us. So give me one sec.
Okay, I have two, but I'm gonna save the second one for the second round. Okay. Oh, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. I'm not gonna show my face because I'm not.
Oh,
Oh,
muted.
right? Okay.
Okay, we're not tech people, so she's just going to take my seat for just a moment. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Alrighty, let's see.
You're muted on yours, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. This one is called Newborn. When a woman is tired of being passed up and passed by, her righteous anger, nay, her divine anger, screams at her, shakes her by the shoulders, and, if need be, gives her a good slap to wake her up. Feeling sorry for yourself won't pay your bills, won't demand you that respect, won't make people take you seriously. They expect you to shrink and cower and cry until a beast is born, not out of want, but out of survival. When you stop apologizing for prioritizing yourself for once, you can hear your ancestors applaud, hoot, holler, shout, and dance, because this lamb, has turned into a wolf. Betrayal is necessary. Without betrayal, a woman will never know how strong she really is, how strong she needs to be, what gifts, talents, and abilities lie dormant, waiting for that canon event to birth them.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, the second one I'll do for the second.
Do it up for my sis.
Grazie.
Had some time to wolf down some food too. So for those of you who don't know, that's my sister Bernie. She's relatively new to the poetry scene as well. And I'm very, very appreciative that she always comes out. And it's not just to support me, like she loves this community. She loves all of y'all. She gets so excited to read here. So trust me, I'm involved in a million things and she does not come to those things. She only comes to this because she loves it. So that's all on you. Okay, so next on our list, we have Kazi. Yay! You were here last month as well. Were you having mic issues last time? Am I remembering
It's
correctly?
possible.
Okay, so let's hope
It's
with
possible.
good energy out there into the world that you have a nice year set.
Thank you.
All right, we are ready
Appreciate it.
to hear from you. Welcome.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you for having me on here again. If y'all remember, last time I was here, I spit the first 3 letters of my ABCs. So I figured I'll continue with the next 4, D, E, F, and G. Definitely don't demographically deny due diligence by degradingly debasing its democratic design. The disparate dissonance disgustingly displayed due to dictatorially dogmatic doctrine is a deplorably despicable dereliction of duty, deniably deciding on a dissentingly dystopian destruction and demoralizingly decadent decimation of diasporically dire and desperately due demands. So determinately delve as defiantly deeply as devoutly desired into the duly delightful depths of definably documented and decisively disclosed dictions drenched in descriptively discretionary definitions. Do the math. Because evidently, earthlings everywhere eventually evanesce effortlessly to an essentially effervescent and exorbitantly exponential ethereality. Esoterically elite entrepreneurs exclusively endeavoring to erratically eradicate the enigmatically enthralling and enrichingly enlightening enrichment, ecumenically eliminate effusively evolutionary efforts. Everyone's exquisitely earthly existence efficiently expires, in essence extensively entering an endlessly energetic eternity. Everybody's entity energetically evolves every day. So excuse my emphatically exclamated and enthusiastically educational explanation, because everything's everything. Furthermore, frankly, I forgetfully forget to forgo my festively fiery flame. Forgive my fervently fueled fire and frequently flagrant fact-finding fierceness, for I foresee a fundamentally fruitless fruition of a fiscally ferocious and fastidiously fiduciary fiasco, frantically forming from facetiously fake and feloniously false facades. Forcibly forged friendships fiendishly facilitate formidably faction friction. I feverishly fear the fathomlessly fragile frailties forever forsaking our familial foundations and financial freedoms, because gravely glorifying the greedily grotesque guilds of gratuitously galvanizing goons gainfully gives growingly gainable ground to grossly governing goblins gut-wrenchingly guilty of guile-guided gratification. Glory is gained by going through gruesomely gritty gauntlets, gingerly garnering graciously great glorification. So gamely gallivant with gleamingly glistening gusto, so as to gladly grace the gracefully grandiose gala in gallantly glamorous garments while gleefully gliding through the globally grimy gamuts of grisly gazes, ganders, and glares. Go and get your G-Funk groove on. Thank you.
Let's go. Yes.
And I was like in the chat, I was like, I'm not even going to attempt to quote a line from this. That was fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing, for being with us tonight, and also for inviting Sophia as well. Appreciate that, growing the community. That is, I mean, so appreciated. Thank you. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
now we're going to close out with Lee, but before Lee reads, I have been asked to share an event that is going on. And let me see, of course, I just took it off of my phone, so give me 1 second. We have on April 21st, Tesoro is going to be hosting an anniversary invitational. And so featured poets, oh, this is a roster, is Stacey Dyson, Jane Spoken Word, Edith Blackbird, Shannon Lockhart, Bianca, the poet Rose Gold, Christine Dickinson, Diane Murray Ward, Rita Zahir, and Shane Manier. I mean, these are like top tier poets, great people as well. So if you would like to attend, please do so. It will be online. There's a $20 admission for this event because, again, it's, Tesoro members who are just giving like their best pieces. And of course, it supports the cause. So you can go to www.firesingers.com. I'll put that in the chat to purchase your ticket to that. The invitationals are like an amazing opportunity for, Tesoro sisters to be able to, again, share some of their favorite works. and it's always a great event. So I truthfully and really truly suggest that you attend if you can. Okay, Lee, my love.
All right, so first, a little bit of context. So this poem came to be after I had a conversation with a poet about like what makes terrible poems, and so I challenged them and I challenged myself to write the worst poem that we could think of, and this is my response. And the title is A Really Terrible Poem. The sun is screaming, the grass is screaming, the mat is screaming, the knob is screaming, the house is screaming, the faucet is screaming, the lamp is screaming, the calendar is screaming, the mug is screaming. I'm screaming at his desk, screaming, clenching a screaming pen, while the notebook remains. And that's it.
I love it. I was like, what? Love it. Thank you so much, Lee. Thank you. Oh my goodness, a poet extraordinaire. Oh, do you want to mention about what's going on, Lee?
Oh,
I feel like we were
yes. Finally, I finished my chapbook. Yes, so I'm going to drop in. So I did technically have published the ebook version, and it's kind of populating globally. It is not available whatsoever on Amazon. I specifically made sure that option was not selected. It's available everywhere else, but if you want like an EPUB delivered to you so that you can read it on your Kindle, you can go to my Ko-Fi, send me the donation with a note, and then I will send that to you via email so that you may open it.
amazing. I'm so proud of you, Lee. Just watching you and all the wonderful things that you're doing is like putting a fire under my ass, to be quite honest. You're in an MFA program. You are doing all the things, and I love it. I love it so much.
I
love
do
you so
want to
much.
say the reason why I know Amazon is because of their terrible practices and their monopolization of the writing industry, and how they actually are actively trying to replace writers by AI. That's the whole program that they got going on. So it is becoming increasingly important to try to diverse away from Amazon, even though it's necessary. For a lot of things, Amazon has to be necessary because it's the only place you can get certain things. For writers, it's a good idea to look for other avenues.
Ooh, thank you for sharing that. I mean, you are always so conscientious, and I definitely appreciate you sharing that with us who may not have, realized that or heard about that. Thank you so much. Okay, so I just want to, before we have our amazing feature for tonight, Tabatha, read for us. I just want to mention once more that if you'd like to read for the second round, now's the time to put your name into the chat so that we can just make sure that we have, a gauge of how much time we need, and so that everyone has the opportunity to share. Okay, Tab, we're going to start with you reading, if that's okay. And then we'll have some Q&A afterward, if that's all right with you.
Absolutely. I am honored to be here. So I am new to Sesotho. I am so happy to be here amongst great artists, and then they women too. So like, how could you go wrong? um I am just going to jump in, and then maybe I'll talk to you guys in between, and then some questions afterwards. Here I am, Lord. Knees to a dirty floor, I'm just trying to find myself. The clouds have darkened and the people bear loud. Chaos walks in the company of giants, and no one knows each other's name. We just nod our head in the crowd. In the valley, we walk in different tongues, but together we share in the same discomfort. I'm just trying to find the strength to pray today, to keep faith in a place I ask God to uplift us from. Some days, it's hard to wake the dead. Who drapes off the men I have shared a youth with. The cries of the mother can be heard in the areas we no longer have the heart to walk through. For each memory is a glimpse of their reflection, a reminder that here I shall no longer be found. But where can growth be in the view of dead flowers? This next poem, she's so new that her name is undecided. I don't know if her name is Mari or Religions. Maybe you could drop a comment. I don't know. Here we go, guys. Mornings are dark to the woman I have not become. Oh, Father, I try to cry in ways that wouldn't wake the children. But the cabinet smell of a closed case and no interviews. Home has overlooked me today, but it's the silence that kills me. Every day I pray that I'm enough to end this cycle. But regret has been the only thing that the radio plays since I lost myself. Of all things, the boiler's been off for 3 days now, and there's no super to be found. Love has not come freely. A neighbor's son became a man in hopes of feeding his mother while we watched. Brick walls that only bear our numbers. Plus, there's nothing holy here. No one stops the red stains that drip from our flag. And stars I use to dim children of a better example. You can't tell me the amount of lives stolen has been overlooked. But how many cameras do we need to capture a parting light? Um, that's in reference to there's so many celebrities that we let their wrongs be overlooked, like and it's sad. All right. So this next piece comes in reference to any survivors in the room. This is a trigger warning, respectfully. Um, the beauty of one is not found before the footnotes. It's in the experience of a stumbling passage that we find ourselves. Embrace me as I briefly salute the harmony of my own ray. Familiar places became more foreign sitting at the edge of windows. Bullets load to the tip of his barrel, refusing to become the victim at my own funeral. I had to come to terms with the things I couldn't control and the serenity to know his difference. I can't change what happened to me. I wasn't the driver to his wandering hand or the actions to their silence. With each inch I grew, I welcomed death. The chaos of embracing my body while I screamed through an open stove has left me more empty to a world that's fragile. It shaped me. My strength, my body as I grew. I struggled with who I was and how much I should tell people. What scars can the night hide in the relationships I won't let come above my sheets? Spending years avoiding the right man. How long will you protect your daughter from your own war? Or yourself from the possibility of being loved again? These thoughts becoming the gray clouds I fight, walking through neighborhoods that decrease daily. Childhood friends becoming like street ornaments. Reign of a shadow we once played hopscotch and manhunt too. This is not the first of us we lose to the war of drugs. Every soldier plays a different corner, wearing colors of a different habit. Community prayers come written on lunchboxes like, God, how many battles do we need to win before you allow us just one? This happens all before the age of 12, where hummingbirds and bouquets of flowers least exist. Unless I love the woman, I've become strange, goddess of storms. Thank you, guys. Thank you. This next piece, I don't know. I talk about the chaos of whatever happens in my life. And sometimes I'm a coward. I'll write a line or two and think that that helps me feel better. You know what I mean? Like I spoke about something. Um, So this is just me just trying to get through this. Truth is, when I was young, I never thought of picking up a school without a father, a plate without a stove, but it happened. And let me tell you something, mommy, those nights come heavy. Some days smear into the next, and questions awaken you at 3 o'clock in the morning. Insecurity sit beside you at a school play, and you wonder if the new shoes you bought her make up for the empty chair. Make good of yourself. I remember when it was my mother who danced in the auditorium. Long slides to her family portrait. I bet she felt empty too. Maybe that's why extravagant dresses for picture day came with so much importance. Perhaps that was the substitute for getting the small package. No mother wants this, you know. Drawings fill the refrigerator, and soon rare days of freedom leave you feeling empty. Emotions and emergencies become a shade of a difference. And you can't understand how this panic attacks you. I bet nobody noticed the pot of rice you have not ate in 2 days. To get her, you come lost, hide in the I'm okay. Yeah, she's gotten so big, right? Wasn't that the plan in co-parenting though? To put a child first? All year I collected the questions I'm only there to answer. Some days I no longer fit, not in my old circle of friends, nor tomorrow's dreams. Nobody said the jeans would fit this big, that I would lose myself in the process of becoming someone's mother. And I know that's selfish, but the truth is, when you're a mom, you give up everything, yo. Help comes scattered across the kitchen table, and keeping a strong face doesn't always come easy. But you'll find a way. You clean the cabinets twice, collect the spare change hidden in the lost invitations. You put together puzzles on the living room floor. They'll ask you for 5 more minutes, and you give them 10. Smiling doesn't happen sudden, but never give up, because it does. For it's in a child's love that life has true meaning. Thank you, guys. How am I doing with my time? Because I am bad at that.
11 minutes.
Oh, I thank you. Whoever got the clock, thank you, Leah. Thank you. All right, so this next piece, I was a little iffy to do it. It's still fresh, and it may come across to someone a little but hear me out, okay? Because my heart is really pure, but here we go. So my father's friend, I have like a tío who's incarcerated. He's been in prison for a lot of years for something that he has not committed. And I'm not saying that this man is an angel, because he is not, but it's been a long time. So it comes with some battles of facing it. I may read the whole thing. It's a really long piece, or I may just leave you with a snippet, and then you can hit me up and we'll read the next. I'll figure it out. All right. So it's called A Letter to My Father's Friend. Please know that I have felt him on days I did not have the strength to speak of his name, nor the traumas he has caused me. So it should come to no surprise that I will fail you the same. My ways are heavy to this habit of old, and on some days, all that I become is the woman I least want to speak of. Sleep has come scattered, and I miss him the most. It's now 5:22, and the morning has not yet heard song. The radiator is in movement with a passing car, and that has been the only sign given to a new day. Reflections press 5 feet against my walls, but depression dares not to scream, "You're better than this." The pain through my window begins to paint the picture, leaving me to question the time it takes for the light to fill the day. And I wonder why all these memories are tied to the neighborhoods I cannot stop walking through. To be honest, I don't know what my mother was saying as she placed her hands in mine, gently ushering me on to the train, but the feeling never aged. She was wearing her black leather book bag, which hung right above her curvy waist. She was holding a bag of cuchifrito. In the bag, there were 2 géneros de papas, 2 alcapurrias or morcilla, but no rice and beans. That's how I knew she was still cooking that night. The same applies to my household today. I could buy whatever to eat, but if I bought it with rice and beans, chacho, you know that's dinner, right? I don't remember when it became just me and my mother. Sorry guys. I don't remember when it became just me and my mother, scattered before government assistance. I'm gonna stop there because the piece is really long, and then I don't want to lose you guys. So I want to thank To Sort of Woman for allowing me to be here. I want to thank every poet that came on the mic, everybody that was vulnerable, that shared your piece, and who was funny and a little freaky sometimes. I appreciate the space. I thank you guys so much. Much love and respect.
All right, Tab. I just realized that I may be an okay poet, but I am not a great host. I didn't even introduce you. When you started reading, I was like, I'm a hot mess. We were talking about this before we started about how I desperately need neatly in my life because I cannot do this by myself. God, I'm so sorry, but I think like most people know you here. You have a following, but not everyone does. So let me read from your resume that you sent me in
Thanks.
time that I was supposed to read before. So Tabatha is a new creative performing artist in spoken word. She has 1 year experience in performing, 2 years in writing poetry. The love for word arrived early in her life, filling pages before the development of pens, but the courage to write and perform poetry arrived in her later days. Her experience includes performing or being published in or being associated with Art at the Basin, New York City Poetry Festival, Flora Reading Community, Poetry for Our Times, Café Fuerte, Mujeres Fuerte, Word is Right, New Yorican Poets Cafe, Bronx Art Fun Hub, and Lungs Harvest Arts LES. She has a published work, Sabbath, Turning the Corner, New Adventures. Tab. I apologize for not giving that impressive resume beforehand.
It's okay.
But like now reading this again and knowing that you've only been writing for 2 years is like absolutely insane. And only 1 year actually performing your poetry is nuts. Like that set was so fire. Amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys.
So now let me do this the right way and ask you some questions that I prepared for you. All right. So first, what are some of the things that inspire you to write?
Really, what inspired me to write is pain, is hurt, is overcoming trauma, it is overcoming diversity. It was being a single mom, was being violated in life. It was feeling like I didn't have a voice and I was so opinionated since birth. Like you just couldn't get me to stop like telling you about something, you know what I mean? So when all those bad things, hi Miss Prada, happened to me, for a short time in my life, I felt like I lost my voice. Like I became depressed and I didn't even know I was depressed. So when I was fighting out that, I just kept writing again, like, and I remembered myself.
I love it. So those are things that inspired you to write, to get you writing in the first place. But what keeps you writing now?
What keeps me writing now is I've been like in HR for 20 something years, right? And I don't want to say I hate it. I don't want to say that. But I said I was going to take a year to work on myself and work on my talent and see if I could do this as a full time. And since then, I published with Word is Right. I started hosting on Sundays. I started hosting once a month with you guys. I just been making these steps. And at first, it felt like baby steps, but then sometimes it felt like somebody was throwing me in the ocean. Like, you know what I mean? So it's really just to see if I can continue. Because I know that it's in me.
Mm-hmm. And tell us a little bit about your process when you are writing.
Oh, girl, it is not a good process, right? So I remember I took an advocate of words class, and he would be like, "You cannot edit while you're writing," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? I can edit while I write." No. So my process is kind of all over the place, and what it is just maybe getting a memory of something, and that works best for me. And going off that memory and talking about it in a more poetic form, because that kind of comes naturally for me.
Got you. And then one more question and you're off the hook. Actually two. So this is the last question that I'm going to ask you to tell us about any projects that you're working on. That will be the last discussion point. But before that, do you experience writer's block or any kinds of hindrances to the creative process? And if so, how do you deal with it?
Yeah, I do. I experience writer's block. This is why it's important for me to go to workshops, writing workshops. There are a lot of open mics, but there's not always spaces where we become vulnerable with each other and we push each other to grow in different genres and different forms in poetry. Because I normally do more free verse. So I just kind of push myself to try to get out of that. You know what I mean? So a lot of workshops help me with that. And with the creative process, sometimes it's a lot at one time, so I have to learn to work on one project at a time, one idea at a time, you know what I mean, and then list them.
Okay. And so for all the newer poets in the room, that's some really, really good advice, right? In addition to attending open mics and getting out there, listening to works and sharing your works, but also going into communities where you're working on a project together and you're having things looked at by fresh sets of eyes, right? That can give you feedback, maybe give you themes that you're not really thinking about, right? That could get you to explore different parts of yourself, right? That you may not have done on your own. So I think that's great advice for a lot of people in the room. Thank you so much. Now I would like you to just please let us know any projects that you are working on, whether it be publications, workshops, anything that you're doing right now.
Absolutely. In 2 days, Shaki G is having something.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it is for survivors of sexual assault. So I put together this piece today to prepare myself to become more vulnerable. Because reading about that is sometimes it's trauma, you know. So you got to put yourself in the mental space to become vulnerable, to share your story, because sometimes it's really, really emotional. So I have that with Shaki G on 420. I don't want to tell you the wrong time. So what I would tell you is the flyer is up on my page. If I did not plug myself, my name is Tabs Poetry. I do workshops, so you guys are more than welcome to harass me and come write with me, and I love it. What else? I am going to be in New Mexico in September. Yeah.
Nice.
And then in July, God is an amazing God. The first time I ever spit poetry was at the New York City Poetry Festival. So he's allowed me to come back this year as a featured artist and a vendor. So I'm like, God, thank you, Father. I'm like so excited. So that's what I'm working on and just trying to better myself, you know? That's it.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for blessing the mic tonight. This was so much fun. There's so many comments in the chat. Please check them out. People just quoting your lines and saying how much fun they're having listening to you. Love your personality. I love being in workshops with you and working with you. I'm so glad you're a sister, a Tesoro sister now. Please put everything in the chat, ways to contact you, because I'm sure other people who may not be following you yet will want to do so. Again, let's just give it up for our feature tonight. Amazing.
Unmute your mics and give it a large woo.
Let's go, Tabs!
Great job.
Yes, poet, so good.
You blow us away.
Great job, Tabs.
I don't want to cut off the kudos. Again, if you'd like to show your love with a donation, please do so. Lee, if you don't mind, I don't know, I'm not looking at the chat right now, but if you could put that link in, thank you so much. 90% again of any donations that are received tonight will go to Tabatha. Let's support our women artists. Tabatha, again, thank you so very much. Okay, so we have a great list for round 2 with some people who did not read yet. Marissa, I know that you are struggling to get into this room and connect to audio. Thank you for your persistence. I was so concerned that you wouldn't be able to connect, so I'm so glad to have you here. I'm going to read a piece.
Ricky, what's up? Oh, I got so much mad love for you. I'm just saying.
I'm so glad to have you.
And I do apologize. I was actually in a meeting, which is why I was helping a future Tesoro woman we're publishing this year. She's a public school teacher. She teaches English. She's here locally in Albuquerque. So I do apologize because I'm like, I got 4 plates spinning, and that's only
no
one.
worries.
No worries. On my tips, so don't even want to know where everything else is.
It's always such a pleasure to have you here and reading for us. So thank you. So we do have, Marissa will begin the round. I'm going to read quickly, and then Marissa will begin the round. And then we have Blitz, Prolific, Claudia. Claudia, it's her first time on this mic. I don't know if it's her first time ever reading, so we'll ask her when she gets on. Terry, which I'm so glad that Terry's in the room. Yay, thank you and welcome. And Kazi will read for us again, Ed will read again, and Bernie will read again. If you have not signed up yet and you want to go for round 2, please put your name in the chat. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to read 2 little micro poems, and then just like a short one. These are new. These are all new because Lee has been on my shit about writing new stuff. So this is for her. This is called Narcissist. And none of these are edited or revised, so I apologize right away. She's going to rub his ego like a genie's lamp, awaken the trickster within. He'll promise her 3 wishes, which will never be granted, and she will spend the rest of her life wishing him away. The next is Eclipses. We stood around and watched the sun be robbed of her glory. We cheered and pointed and even took photos. Why do we take such pleasure in casting shadows? And then finally, oh, I see my sister like that because I heard, I heard something from the kitchen. Okay, and then finally, earthquakes, because we've had all of these things happening and they were very inspiring. They got me writing. Tectonic plates grind, bone on bone, restless, unruly, beneath the fragile surface. My whole life appears surface, soil that nurtures, flowers and weeds. But you're in me, molten lava boiling forever, an angry, roiling core. I fear you. Threats floating on hot breath, your evil and your charm, it's all within. A journey to the center of the earth. My therapist asks me to rate my pain, flashbacks, memories, numbers on the Richter scale. It's been quiet for years. But every now and then you break through, walking in with melting ice cream cones at 9 p.m. on a hot New York night, much to mom's chagrin, handing them out to 3 sets of small peach palms attached to sleepy, happy bodies, tremors that gently shake the windows. And then, after a stretch, you erupt in glimpses of suffering, those same sweet palms pulling you off of her, pressing against ears to muffle screams and cries, the violence of nature, man versus earth, man versus woman. You are a constant low rumble, just under my skin. You push up goose flesh. You are released in rivers of sweat and tears, a threat, and yet an irreplaceable part of my foundation. I'm resolved to the fact I'll spend the rest of my life in doorways and crouching under dining room tables, trying desperately to avoid your aftershocks. That's it. Thank you for listening.
Woo!
So now, finally, we have Marissa. Please share with us. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I love all the Tesoro stuff. And hello, all my beautiful sisters. And Nikki, thank you so much for hosting. Oh my gosh. All right. We really need to do this more than once a month because, yeah, I miss all of you. 2 poems today. This first one, actually, I did a whole graphic poster thing for, which is kind of cool. And so since Nikki read something about for a narcissist, this is what happens. Yeah, yeah. Marry a monkey, the dragon was told. It was his year after all. So he went into the forest to find his match. But the dragon forgot to look up. He could not see her climbing high above him, swinging in the sway of her canopy. So he burned the forest down with his words and pyromaniac tendencies until she fell, laid there, slain at his feet. But he found her, determined to marry her. Though she did not wake and no longer moved. Why were you not where I looked for you? The dragon asked, speckled in confusion. Now you have cost me my happiness, he continued, and everything is gone. And that's that piece. Yeah. Learning lessons from the Tesoro women. All right. I'm going to share a new piece. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite poems of this year. It is titled Somewhere. Somewhere there's a house that dances on a bed of Rocky Mountain wildflowers. Imaginative kaleidoscope landscape where New Mexico winds blow bouquets of juniper and promises through windows born of closed doors and hope that bridged hearts from 2 lives, so separated once together, no earthly force could split. Somewhere there is a house with a wraparound, grandma hugging porch, invites joy and courage from memories and hope. It cradles hearts from lives once so separated, now stand together so no earthly force dare divide. Somewhere there is a house behind the mind of my eye, where I stand with the third of his name in a kitchen of our creation, making coffee and ginger tea in matching mugs of can, hands together, clapping, praying, hoping. Thankful for that one night you told me you had the same dream, that one day there would be a house somewhere where we could become grown and old with peace and love to slowly age together. Now, I find you are gone, and I scrape away for grace and the gratitude, only to find that our somewhere house has burned down, and the charred embellishment of our love was just one woman's dream. Thank you all so much.
Ooh, let's give it up for Marissa. Please feel free to unmute your mic if you feel moved to do so. Wow. Oh,
Thank you, Marissa.
I always enjoy having you in the room, and thank you for sharing that last especially beautiful piece. Appreciate everything about it. The delivery, the content, amazing. Thank you so much. Now we could take an hour just talking about what projects you have going on. So would you just summarize the top ones for us today and make sure that your socials and everything else are in the chat?
Getting to tomorrow is my top priority at this point. Beyond that, like, yeah, so Red or Green Books, we have 11, potentially 12. I may be adding a Tesoro woman. I don't know yet. On the fly to this launch, which would be amazing. It would make us a rounded 12. Debut authors that are launching this summer is an amazing project. We have 4 other books coming out this summer. We have the New Mexico State Poetry Summit, which we have 12 Tesoro women signed up right now to come. So if you are not signed up, if you're not sure if you're going to come to New Mexico, just be sure, get the ticket, get your butt here, because it's going to be an amazing time. Like, I can't stress to you enough how incredible this is when you get to hug your fellow poets and your peers and your sisters in this industry, and you get to bond with them outside of a screen. It is a life-changing thing. So if you're coming to New Mexico in September, let me know. It's September 13th, 14th, and 15th, where there's a whole special show on Sunday, September 15th, just for the Tesoro women. It is a ticketed show raising money for Tesoro. So it is an awesome thing that we're doing there. And of course, The Word is Right is our performing arts platform. So that is where everyone hones their skill, either hosting or performing. And then, of course, our book club that we do once a month at Red or Green Books. There's just so much stuff. So just plug in somewhere. You can get the books or read all of the bios on the website, redorgreenbooks.com, but read, READ, see who's coming to September, but also see who we're publishing this year. It is going to be an amazing time. Thanks, Nikki.
Thank you so much, Marissa. And Marissa is one of those people in the community who have given so many opportunities to up and coming artists, both men and women, and no matter how you identify, but particularly women. I noticed that you have helped so many. So thank you so much. And if you're not following Marissa, make sure to do so, because like that's just a fraction of the things that she's involved with. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we have Blitz. Blitz, have you read for us before?
No. Prada is actually the one who told me to jump in tonight. So,
Okay.
Because I'm always online with her. So she told me to join in. And so
well,
I'm going to give
Let's go, Blitz. You know, we love you. We love putting all our feminine love on you. You know that. You're part of our family.
Yes.
Blitz is just so awesome. We love him.
All right. Do you want me to do 1 or 2?
As long as it's under 5 minutes, you can do as many as you want.
Okay. I got 2 for you then.
Awesome.
Welcome to a block you want to avoid at all cost, because once you arrive here, it's hard to leave. This block, it's scarier than a nightmare on Elm Street, because this block will have you feeling as if you're in the movie Groundhog's Day, as the cycle repeats itself over and over and over again. You'd be better off getting blocked by Dikembe Mutombo, because this block is a lot taller than that. It wouldn't matter if you had the skill set of Lawrence Taylor or Micah Parsons, because this block here would shut them down. This block is tougher than the bad boy Pistons inflicting the Jordan rules in the paint, because this block is hard to score on and get past. This block is more difficult than a Rubik's Cube, because this block, it gets in your head. I've been on this block before, and this block was hard to leave. See, the block I'm talking about is writer's block. See, writer's block will consume you. Writer's block will confuse you. Writer's block will have you questioning your creativity. Writer's block will have you doubting you can still do this. Writer's block will attack you at your most vulnerable moments, like life tragedies and personal crises that already have you in your own head. But see, writer's block has always taken people out for the count to the point where they never recover. They never give us another dope line. But writer's block, it can be beat. You just have to pick up that pen and just write, write, and write. So please avoid the block known as writer's block, for it will consume you and it will confuse you. And I'm going to give y'all one more and I'll get out of y'all's way. Poetry is a subjective art that not everyone understands nor truly appreciates. See, we're all unique and hand stitched like this fitted hat. See, we may share similarities, but we don't all fit the same. See, each thread is carefully sewn and woven together while the pattern stays intact. Just like each line is carefully crafted to fit exactly where it needs to be when written. See, during my journey of poetry, I've worn many hats. When I first started performing, I was wearing the Velcro strap hat as I would try to read the room and loosen up. But the problem is I would tighten up under the pressure, lose the room. The Velcro strap was worn. Eventually, I grew into a snapback and I was able to bounce back and recover from almost any situation, read the room, keep my cool while giving them everything that comes from here. See, now some of these hats are very loud and colorful, while others are dark and grim. Even the undervisor and brim show no hints of color, but that doesn't mean it's not a dope hat. See, then we have these flex fit hats. You just have to make sure it's the right fit because some have big heads and their egos won't allow them to wear the hat, while others get a hat that's too big, hoping to grow into it rather than get something that fits. See, I prefer to be a fitted hat because I'm fit to be who I need to be, not what others want me to be. See, my hat is a combination of both dark and light colors because the best way to showcase my hat of poetry is to have both sides as I remain true to myself and remain a poetic fitted hat. And that's the piece.
Ooh, let's hear it for Blitz. Oh, I love some of those lines really. I mean,
so
they stood out to me. Wow, amazing. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
tonight.
you.
I'm so glad to have you here. Please make sure that you have your socials or anything else, website, anything that you'd like to share with us in the chat. I don't believe we're following each other. I would definitely like to follow you. So please make sure you have that up. And I hope that you come back next month.
I will try. I mean, I'm going to have to thank Marissa because I'm usually asleep at this point in time.
What time zone are you
Yeah,
in?
I specialize in disturbing the sleep of other poets.
I'm in Central Time Zone, but my job requires me to be in at 4 a.m.
Oh,
So I'm usually in bed by about 6 or 7.
I got you. I got you. Oh, well, thank you so much for the sacrifice of your sleep. We appreciate it. We are so happy to have you here.
No
Again,
problem.
don't forget to put your socials, please, in the chat.
I will
Okay.
plug that in right now as I get ready for bed.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay, next we have Claudia. Claudia. It's Claudia's first time reading. It's her first time in this community. Claudia is another one of my salsa sisters. I also performed with salsa with Claudia recently. She is the sweetest person, and I'm so glad to be getting the opportunity to learn more about her and get to know her better. And I'm so appreciative that she's here. So tell us, Claudia, is this your first time reading poetry or is this your first time with us?
Both. I've never done this before.
What a
what a
wonderful
night.
place to be your first poem, to be amongst a bunch of people who want to see you succeed, who love you no matter what. Just remember, none of us know what it's supposed to sound like, so you just go as if that's the way you meant it to be. We stamp our ticket, we're on board the Claudia train. Let's go. Good luck, sister. We got you. Have fun.
Claudia, thank you so much for choosing this to be the place that you read your first piece. The floor
Yeah,
is
thank
yours, my
you.
love.
Thank you. I did want to say thank you to everybody. I just feel so inspired. And I think I let my intrusive thought win. I was like, why don't you just do it? So thank you everybody for sharing. I feel so inspired. They're really short, just 2 haikus. One of them is called The Fall. A heartache is best experienced in autumn, leaves change as did we. That's the first one. I have to look for the second one. This is called Cardinals. Take me back to the day 2 cardinals watched us meet and pass them by. And that is it. Thank you all. Thank you.
I love haikus. I'm so glad you shared them.
I'm like, I find haikus to be like the hardest thing for me to write, like just to try to get my thoughts into those, a certain amount of syllables. And that was gorgeous. So well done. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Yay.
remind me to share to you my workshop on haikus because that
You
the
do.
syllable thing is a myth, actually.
Oh, I did read that somewhere because I had an argument on IG with someone because I posted a haiku and then of course I was told that I didn't follow rules and I was like, well, actually, I Googled it. And technically, but I was like, let me default to what everyone thinks, but okay, I would like to see this. But again, thank you, Claudia and Verena, my 2 salsa sisters who are now salsera poets as of this evening. Yay! So exciting. All right. So now we have, Terry. Terry, I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hey.
How are you?
We are well. Thank you. We're so excited to have you here. Is this your first time on Pen and Sword?
I don't know. I mean, I thought I was in a workshop with Tab the last time she did one.
Okay.
So
It wasn't with us though. Okay, so it's your
okay,
first
now.
time.
Okay, yeah.
Welcome.
Okay. I
So
got
happy to have you
I
here.
got some new shit here because,
Hey.
April Poetry Month, right. Love letter to myself. You are my academia. You are my most precious gift. I do not exist without you. I am always thinking of you, and sometimes I need to be kinder with my self-talk. When the next time it is when we can be together, I promise to do better. I love how you strive to improve yourself, but you don't really have to work that hard. The next vacation that we take, I will make sure you get time to relax. If you want to go to the spa for the day, you deserve it, baby. And when we get home, I will be sure to make sure that all the household duties are not put upon you. I will get the help so that you can feel like the unique and special woman that you are. So that was the first love letter to myself I ever wrote. The next one is called Perfect World. In a perfect world, we would not have to elevate one race over another, and the human comments would be well thought out and beautiful, and the desire to choke someone for not being conscious of their words would not exist. In a perfect world, I would not lose it on a daily basis. I would have more self-control and give more hugs. I would find the positive in every situation. I would concentrate on the things that are good and right. I would not be afraid to open that foster for unwanted dogs and children. I would quit my dead-end job to pursue my more humanitarian ideals. In a perfect world, I would contribute more and complain less. And then this is my last one, escape hatch. So how do I get out of here? I texted the promoter over a month ago to get the details about the AC Poetry Fest, and I got a lame, too late reply. But maybe I shouldn't be so quick to think the man was just brushing me off. The girl in the Black Museum's Matter was nice to me at first, and then a 20-something white girl, probably a Trump client, came in to ask a very inappropriate question. And once again, I felt responsible for all of the backwards thinking white people who have no filters on their mouths, or at least no connection to an actual well thought out question. How am I supposed to react? I mean, respond, not react. Respond, not react. Respond, do not react. Where is the escape hatch? Feeling like the lame red fish in the bowl that got trapped in a baggie and brought home to be an interior decoration, new home at P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney, where the obnoxious girl banging on the tank was saying, fishy, fishy, fishy. Was she purposely trying to antagonize this woman? That dumbass comment smelled fishy. And it is always important to remember, you can't fix stupid. Dear white people, please stop asking the questions that are a direct result of racism and further promote stereotypes. Stop asking Black people to dumb it down for you. It is your history as much as theirs. Only you were the perpetrators. Go read a book, goddammit. And in answer to your inquiry, watermelon is tasty and everyone likes it because it tastes great. And it's less filling. And that's me.
Terry, thank you for your thoughtful pieces. Oh my gosh, let's give it up for Terry.
Woo!
Thank you.
I have heard Terry read in different spaces, New Eurekan, Poets Cafe Online, and in a couple of different spaces. I'm so proud to have her here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that you will again. Okay, and please make sure that you put your socials also in the chat, because I'm sure that people here are going to want to follow you if they don't already. Okay, so next we have Kazi, followed by Ed, Bernie, and Sophia. I am going to ask at this point if you could just read one poem, just in the interest of making sure that we stay on time, because there are other events that happen at 9 p.m. Eastern that people may want to prepare for. Okay, so let's start with Kazi. Let's go. I cannot wait to hear your next piece.
All right. Hello, everyone again. All right, so I will give you the next four of my ABCs, H, I, J, and K. The hugest hindering hoax from heretically hasty Homo sapiens has harassingly halted the homogeneously humble holding of harmoniously heightened humanitarianism. Hence, however much hypocritical humiliation heartfelt humility may hold, humbly helping the hopelessly helpless happily helps never before helped helpers help. Honestly, my heart is heavily hurting. Horrendously, humans have had a harrowingly horrifying and heinously horrible history. Hopefully, hindsight ain't the only hope worth having. Indubitably, importantly implemented information invites illicitly immoral intentions. Instead, immediately incite inherent innateness to insightfully isolate irrevocably intentional and inauspiciously insidious idiocy from innocently intellectual and inspirationally inviting intimacy. Incessantly insist on inquisitively inquiring as to impending improvements, not impressive illusions. It idealistically impels an interestingly informative incumbent upon infinity's ideal imagery to iconically instill an intrepidly implied and infinitely inferred invincibility, i.e., I am. Now, jokingly, I jested in justifiable jubilance just to jokingly jostle the judiciary jesters jinxing justice. Judge, jury's job is jurisprudence, right? Because in June or July, Jittery Joe, the jaded janitorial junkie, was judiciously jailed like a jovially jacked up jackal for jauntily jacking Java from jeering Jezebels Janine and Joyce while joyfully jogging and jingling his jolly joystick in January. All the while jaywalking and jamming the Jazzy Jeff, Juicy J, Jim Jones, Janis Joplin, Janet Jackson, and Jigga. So it was either Julia the Jekyll jackass or Julie the jilted juvenile who joltingly jumbled Jesus' jujitsu and Jehovah's judo in front of jealously judgmental Jesuits. Jumping Jehoshaphat. But it's okay, because the kettle and kiln in the kitchen were kindled by a kingly kindness while kindredly kind koalas kissed Kango-keeping kangaroos. But from Key West to Kansas, kaleidoscopically kilometric killings of kitten-kicking kindergartners kinetically keep our khaki keen kinfolk keeling while kerosene keg karma kills our keystone kingdoms. Oh, and by the way, Krispy Kreme crimpets from Krypton caused Klutzy Kenny, the ketamine kerplunking klepto, to keenly kidnap the Ken-old canine Kaiser the Killer. Anyway, thank you.
Oh my God. That's good.
Oh.
I attempted to quote a line that I liked very much. I don't even know if I quoted it correctly, but damn, that is amazing, amazing. One day I want to hear all about your process. Like I want to get you on early in the show and just talk to you for a little bit about the process and how you get these poems together. Because wow, super impressive.
Really, we just need tongue lessons. Like we need some oral tongue lessons, pretty please, and thank you. And Stacey's not here, so I get to productize it. So yes, sign me up. When is the workshop? Is this a demo or is this a hands-on? Like, are you coming in September? What's the deal? Let's go.
Late in the night,
Let's go. You can't unleash that. You cannot unleash that heat in a room a bunch of women and then not expect a little like blow.
And I think that's the perfect segue into our next poet. Ed will be reading for us next. Let's see if he's going to keep the heat going or if he's going to give us something a little bit more innocent. Let's see.
What's your choice? What's your poison?
It's up to you. You're the artist.
I actually have a little suggestion. Give us ice.
Oh, okay. We have
ice. Do I have any ice? First precise. Sure, I have ice. This is called back of your head. Is it a migraine or a headache? What is it, for God's sake? Do you feel sick or unwell? Or are these ringing a bell? I think you're overthinking. This is why ideas keep shrinking. Maybe your inner struggles, digging larger tunnels. Maybe it's stress. Why not get some rest? Maybe it's pain, but remove those chains. Maybe it's confusion. It's okay to leave it undone. Maybe it's overspending. Is a case of overstepping. Maybe it's too much work, loving until you stop and hurt. Maybe it's an argument. Send flowers, they'll get the hint. Maybe it's allergies. God bless you if you sneeze. Maybe it's a midlife crisis. No, I only jokingly jest. Maybe it's a broken heart. I hope I missed the mark. Well, whatever it is, it will pass. Drama doesn't overly last. It's okay. It's only in your head. You're alive. Don't play dead. I got one more, or that's.
If it's super quick.
It's okay. I'll save for another time. Thank you for listening.
Save it for me. All right, Ed. Ed, thank you so much. Ed is one of my favorite people on IG. Let me just tell you, he is so supportive and kind, and he always brightens my day. Like if I post something and I'm like, I'm not so sure if I should have posted that. Like I will always get a kind message. It's like we're on the same wavelength, and he knows exactly what I need to hear. Thank you, Ed, for being you. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, then we have Bernadette. Are you ready? Do you want to come over here?
Almost done.
Okay, so why don't you get it together? Sophia, would you go next, please? Share with us a piece.
Okay. This is an excerpt from If My Hands Were Birds, a poem. The book's coming out real soon. Okay. This is titled, the excerpt, Setting Fire to the Red Roses. Okay. If you could manifest fear into the tangible, what shape and color would it be? I asked myself, would you really want to taint, not paint red roses in a bad light? However, that would answer both questions. Philosophically, that wouldn't be fair to those who love red roses, yet I could not erase red roses from this world. If I were to have been given a red rose, Did they take into account the thorn in my side, that I own no articles of red clothing? Likely, I would have wanted to set the rose on fire. It became very dire here, with no fire escape unless for an emergency, only an outdoor balcony with an outdoor staircase. Yet every day, this house was full of emergencies always. I was mad as hell to return, though. Fire wasn't coming out of my eyes or my ears or my hand for that matter. But below the surface was fear and more fear and more fear. This was too near to my heart, not too close to home. Red was innocence once, when I wore those sparkling red shoes as a child that one Halloween to become the beloved Dorothy. Where was that crow in my memory in the movie, The Wizard of Oz? Healing is not the yellow brick road. Thank you.
That was a beautiful piece. Thank you so much, Sophia. Love that. Amazing. Beautiful delivery as well. Wow. Fantastic. Bernie, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. I will just give her my seat for a second.
I'm not gonna get into a long description, I promise. Okay, just real quick, I'm a tarot reader, so this one is called North Node, A Day in the Life of Triple Threat. I'm a little nervous about this one, but please forgive me for that. I have seen golden castles in the sky. I have seen lovers playing hide and seek like playground children. I have seen a mop-headed, sad-eyed, angst-driven teenage boy repeat the moment he exited this earth over and over again. The pitch black office cubicles, temporarily a firework-filled night sky. I have experienced bright red eyes, the only supposed light, contrasting a black ominous shadow, formless yet heavy, as if he were carnate and subject to our gravitational pull. Sitting on my chest, my eyes shut tight. He wants me to look at him. I refuse. Fuck you, demon. Get bent. He doubles down, his heaviness sinking into my ribcage. He's less than an inch from my face. My will is stronger than his, and he finally relents. Their spirits, their guides, they divulge it all, answering questions I never wanted to ask. My dreams are not of the fluffy marshmallow land lollipop tree variety. They reveal intentions, most never honorable. Watching them in the act, their tomato-stained visage, a hallmark of unexpected surveillance.
Ooh. Nice, Bernie. Thank you. Thank you. Well done. Thank you, Bernie. Okay. All right. So now I'm just going to yeah, fuck you, demon. I'm going to open up the floor to Lee. I was asking her to end the night, her and her beautiful cats. And Lee, the floor is yours.
Thank you. This is my little naughty one, and they say, please finish so we can eat. So I'm going to share a screen briefly. This time I am not sharing a poem, but I am sharing the cover that I designed it in Canva. So this is the cover to Melodia, and I'm waiting for the blurbs for the physical copies, but when they come in, it'll finally be finished. And if you would like to keep up on it, you can follow me on my socials or subscribe to my newsletter, all those good things.
So exciting.
Awesome. Congrats.
Yay. So exciting. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
everyone. So that concludes the evening.
Last thing. Okay. So,
Go ahead.
because I have a book coming out, Nikki had asked me if I would like to be next month's feature for Pen and Sword. And so I am.
Yay. So please come out for that. That is going to be amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I don't know what's going to happen with the tech, so just get ready for a bunch of surprises. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. Thank you to everyone who read, everyone who came to support. Thank you to our feature, Tabatha, who did an amazing job today. Thank you, Lee, always for being the most amazing co-host. I appreciate all of you. Come back next month. Join us. This community is open to all. Please, again, tell your friends, tell your family members. We would love to have you all here. And I know that some of you have a 9 p.m. event to go to, so I will let you go. Good night, everyone, and thank you again. Bye.